Are you a harbinger? Have you met one? There's a possibility you have and didn't know it. Harbingers come from all walks of life. Chances are, there are a few of you walking around now that don't even know, that you have no inkling of an idea that you are a harbinger. Well, let me tell you what a harbinger is. According to the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, a harbinger is a person that foreshadows a future event. Okay? Now, regardless whether that's a good one or bad one, a harbinger speaks. And when they speak, it is with volume. Not like, although a harbinger is also called a herald, someone that goes before others, or a forerunner. I wrote down quite a bit of stuff because I want to make sure I get it all out. So let's go. Um, there are several kinds of harbinger. You have birds that are harbingers. You can also look at the not the opossum, but the one that they say that he didn't see a shadow this time. Okay, the groundhog. The groundhog can also be deemed a harbinger. All right, so we have birds for spring. The robins. When the robins come in, they are harbingers. Harbingers. They are heralding in that spring is near. It is coming. There are also those that are called witch hazels, which are also deemed to be heralds of springtime coming in. Now, the Bible calls harbingers foreshadowers, all right? But that also means that they can be linked to being a prophet or a prophetess because they do like announce things happening, whether they're good, bad, or ugly. They foretell the future, okay, of future events, okay, and they are also the oracle for God, divine source universe. All right, harbingers can start at infant age all the way to an ageless age. These are gifts I feel that have been imparted into them. All right, so I feel that the gifts come, but the gifts were given eons ago. All right, and allowed to develop, you know, through so many 50, 10, 100 years. There's an evolution in the bloodline and the DNA where other stuff starts to unlock and unfold. Now, could it be, and I wrote this down, could it be that those gifts we have are part of a galaxy of beings collectively, inserting some of their traits in us as a peace treaty or in order to know their people? What if those who has multiple traits are part of a grand project or goal? What if they were or are attempting to recreate the Christ or Christ consciousness by way of elevating us? Seeing which test subject they attach to and seem to be more prominent in the blood types. I don't think it's a random. I don't think it's not a random effort. I feel the underdog is made the top dog as we mature. The perfect human, not AI, but human intelligence, HI. Did you know that there are some harbingers who are requested by those people who are in transition or has transition to come and escort them to their next place, their right and perfect place? Yes, they can do that. Harbingers can move through dimensions. They can also feel death, happiness, and also be the life of a party. Chances are you met a harbinger and didn't know it. You went to a party that was dead and somebody walked in and hey, all of a sudden the party, the energy lifted up. Remember, a harbinger heralds in something or someone or an event. Now, I can say that a harbinger that is the life of a party is heralding in the spirit of mirth, Mirth. Let's see what else I got here. Okay, well, I went through that video kind of fast, didn't I? I will tell you about an event, several events that happened to me. I remember uh, walking on the side of a little lady, a little short lady, beautiful lady, Cheyenne Indian. And we were talking, and I asked her, did I know her? And she says, yeah. And we kept walking. And she said, I requested you. I said, oh, okay. As we continued to walk, we walked over this big open field, and I looked to my right and I saw this humongous bear. He looked like he was every bit about 10 feet, black bear with paws. And he was standing on his hind feet, standing straight up. And in front of him were a couple of men, but they were dressed in Aztec Indian gear. She and I continued to walk forward. I walked all the way to a white door. When she got there, she turned around and she gave me a kiss. And she told me, she said, you are my granddaughter. And I said, oh. So I came back. When I came back, I realized who she is and was to me. On another event, as a harbinger, I used to go and visit my mother-in-law, but I had this love for one particular person, one of her sons, not the one I was married to. I had this bleeding heart like love for one of her other sons, and I would come by to visit. And one day while I was there, he had an argument with his sister. And she was telling him about how he loved God and he preached God, this, that, and other. But now he out on the street and now he forgot who God is. And the Lord spoke to me and said, tell him, hold up. You don't know this. God has a plan. So every time the Lord put it in my spirit, to go and visit him, I would get up and I would drive out there to visit him. Just one particular day, I went out there and I told her, I come to see your son. She said, babe, what it is? I said, I don't know. The Lord just told me to come see your son. Well, she said, he not here. I think maybe about 10 minutes after I had got there, she got a phone call that her son was shot with a .357 Magnum. And he was shot, but the bullet missed, so it hit it hit here. And he was very muscular, so it missed any main arteries and all of that stuff. The bullet went straight through. But he did die, I say maybe 9 days later, of pneumonia. That's what they tell me. I'm just going by what they said. I'm just telling you that. So when I went to visit my mother-in-law again, she was working out yard. She come running to the front. She said, "Baby, what is it?" She said, "'Cause every time you come to my house, something happens." Well, this is what harbingers do. This is part of their gift. This is what they do. When they show up in a place, they're not just coming there just to be social. There's an event that's about to take place. All right. There are times that being a harbinger, you can just hang out, but there's other times that you have a mission. Even if you're not even clear of what that mission is, there is a mission, and something is taking place. So that's two. The last one I'll tell you about is being used or utilized as a harbinger of doom or gloom, something like that. Well, that's more than one, but I think I will speak about which one. Let's talk about the hurricane. We had a hurricane called Sharita many years ago. People were packing up, moving, getting out of town, trying to get to a whole nother state because they knew that there was going to be this great impact come in and just destroy a lot of stuff. The bishop at our church, instead of opening up the big church for everybody to come in, closed the church down, packed up his stuff and his children, and he headed out of town. He went to a whole nother city. But while he was driving there and many others were, the freeways was packed. People cars was stopping on him. It was just a mess. I prayed about it and I prayed about it, and I had a house full of people as well. And I asked the Lord about it. He said, "It's not going to come to land, but it was going to lose its power when it got to land." I messed it up. So all those that was in my household, when they heard this news, they just knew everything was okay. Nobody got worried or anything. The bishop called me on the phone and said, Dr. B, uh, uh, my family and I were going out of town. Where are you going? I said, "We're not going anywhere." He said, "Did you not know that there's a hurricane on the way?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But the Lord said that it's going to lose its power by the time it gets to shore." Well, he didn't believe me. And this is also something that harbingers need to understand. There'll be a lot of people that don't understand you, but if something happened to them, they know who you are. Once they have done their transition, chances are you'll be the one that escorts them to their next path, even if they don't request you. But so back to the story. So we didn't leave, and the bishop said, "Okay, y'all just stay safe." But when the hurricane came to land, and it was no more, people had a problem with it. They got to fussing and fighting about it and talking about, "We did all of this and this, that, and the other." But the Lord spoke to me. Before I even heard that, he said, "Because they complained, the next time I will allow it to come to land. And it's going to destroy a lot of stuff." Oh, yeah. That's what God said. So after that, I think the next one that came was Hurricane Ike. And there was nothing that I could do about it or anybody else. And it wreaked havoc. And people seemed like they were much more happier because they're now in a distress, no water, running out of food, no electricity, having to go into town at a specific point to pick up food from the military and water. So being a harbinger, you will find that you'll be doing many things, including tapping in with people that are no longer here. Some harbingers have the ability to travel from one place to another and actually speak with angels pertaining to certain things. Give y'all a moment to soak this in. There is another harbinger they call the harbinger of death. Now, I know I've already told you about my experience as being a harbinger of death, but the harbinger of death is also uh, connected to banshees. Banshees are deemed to be harbingers of death. They come in, they herald, let you know that someone is dying, and they weep for that person, and they cry for them. And the harbingers also serenade that person into their next life, into their next into their transition. So I'm sure this is not everything on harbingers, but this is, I think, quite a bit of information. All right, for those that wanted to know, who am I? What am I going through? Why is this happening? You feel like that there's something spooky going on with you. Chances are you, my darling, are a harbinger. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button. Comment. Let me know what you think about this video. And I'll be back to do more for you. Yeah, yeah.